sunny day here at the Ayala Vermosa Sports Hub as we welcome you to the first game here for today. It's going to be the PRFU Premiership Shield between SKF Mavericks and the Manila Nomads. We have for your commentary for today our ex-Philippine Volcanoes player, Mr. Chris Everingham. Chris, how are you doing today, and how excited are you for the games?
Very good, thanks Jay. It's great to be here at the Ayala Vermosa Sports Hub and to watch this fabulous game between the Mavericks and the Nomads. It's going to be an exciting match. It's the first of the men's divisions. Okay, so coming up next we'll have the obviously 2020 JML Luzon Cup. Right now we'll be sticking to the PRFU Premiership Shield, so it's going to be an exciting match. I'd like to see on the Nomads team, we've got the welcome back of Phil Sinclair, so it'll be exciting to see what he's got to bring. David Feeney, who's a current national volcano, so we'll be expecting to see how he does today. Fun to watch. We have Reece Jenkins and other ratings, as well as David, basketball, he's a flying wing, so we're excited to see how he goes. Mason brings this one home. Of course, Coach Fitz, probably one of the best coaches in the world. Excited to see what he says. Here at the start, you can see how they're scripting on now. He's having a chat to the Nomads. The guys in the right frame of mind to make sure that against the Mavericks. On the other side, we have the SKF Mavericks. Of course, those guys have got a bit of experience with Jeremy Hernandez.
2-minute warning, Santos Knight from Mavericks and Manila Nomads.
Stable player.
2-minute warning, thank you.
So it's exciting to see him get out there on the field today. You've got Jerry Guanzuela, who's also nicknamed Slug, who brings a lot of experience in the Mavericks, as well as James Oasis. You've got Randy Santos in the hot seat at fly half. You've got Jordan Rhodes, who's going to be exciting in centre, and obviously Lito Ramirez. So that back line is very strong. The SKF Mavericks, they're going to bring a lot of heat, and they're coached by obviously Andy Brown, who was also a part of the team that Coach Fitz and Coach Andy Brown coached for the women's division in C Games in both 7s and 15s last year. So they're going to be very excited going head to head. We're going to see some friendly rivalry, and they're obviously going to want to have one on each other.
May we please have Santos Knight from
Very exciting, Jake.
and Manila Nomads.
That's really great to hear, and it is really an exciting game that we do have. It's SKF Mavericks going up against Manila Nomads. In a few minutes, we'll see them come into the field and bring in some action for the PRFU Premiership Shield. We'll be leaving you with Chris Everingham for the commentary for today, so stay tuned, and we'll be back for the game.
Kasi sa'yo lang naka-record siya sa akin.
And as we just here we go.
Welcome back. We have Alex Maynard kicking off the game. So the PRFU Premiership Shield. Manila Nomads versus the SKF Mavericks. SKF Mavericks in the red and the white jerseys on the left-hand side of the screen, and we also have the Manila Nomads in the black and green right-hand screen at the moment. They've just SKF Mavericks have kicked off, and the Nomads have collected it, kicked out, and now we're going into a line-out restart just inside their own half. Mavericks have thrown it in. Jeremy Hernandez has thrown it in unsuccessfully, and the Nomads have regathered. And the sideline has been taken out by the Mavericks. A little bit of heat, a little bit of a scuffle on early on in this match between the Nomads and the Mavericks. That's to be expected. A lot of passion out there on the field. Here we go, Jeremy Hernandez throwing in for the Mavericks. It's gone out the back there. And the Nomads have a chance to actually regather and play off the back of that mistake. But in the middle, Alex Maynard has called it back. We're going to have a scrum restart on the mark. Yeah, scrum is a way to restart the game when there is a mistake or error in the game. It's in favour of the Nomads at the moment. He's going to the scrum half's going to feed in the middle of the scrum, and then there's a contest between the forwards. And that's Reece Jenkins, I believe, has come out the back there, number 8. He's just entered the Mavericks territory. Nomads down that right-hand side, and they've got an early one. There he is, David Bastable, putting on that speed early, but I believe they've caught it out. So we'll have a line-out restart in favour of the Mavericks. It's a short ball to the front, but it's been called back. There was a knock on by the Mavericks, so now we'll be having a scrum restart to the Nomads to give them another opportunity early in the game to attack the SKF Mavericks try line. So they're about 20 out on their try line. Let's see what the Nomads can do early in this game. Reece Jenkins out to the right side, linking up with the scrum half. Nomads have just gone into a short run, set up some phases, get some stability before they go out wide, I imagine. Right now they're just keeping it in the forwards. Still got the ball. There's David Feeney now, is taking it from the baseline, creating a little bit of momentum. Scrum half now has passed it out. Oh, it was a good run by the Nomads, but it's been stolen by, I believe, Jordan Rose, and then he's passed it out to Lido, who gets taken out by the Nomads defence. So we'll go back to a line-out restart. Again, giving the Nomads another opportunity to attack the SKF Mavericks try line. Start to build a little bit of pressure here. Let's see what they can come up with. It's been thrown in. By the Nomads, but there seems to be a mistake. It's very windy here this afternoon at the Vermosa Sports Hub. That might be playing a factor in the success of these lineouts at the start of this game. So Alex, the referee, the man in the middle, has gone to scrum to restart the game. We've got the Mavericks in possession, and they'll look to exit their territory safely. To make sure that they can start to move the momentum in their favour and play down in their Nomads territory. So right now, just have a recall of the scrum to make sure it's reset and safe for all our forwards, especially our front three. We'll make sure that they're not injured during the restart. So Manny is passed out to Randy Santos. Sorry, Randy Santos. Just played it out to the left-hand side. There it is. Randy's kicked for the sideline, which is a massive boot against the wind, and it's gone out there just inside Nomads territory. And we'll look to restart play. But a line out about 42 metres from the Nomads try line, which would be in favour of the Nomads, obviously. Very windy here at the moment. Again, we've got a line out that's gone straight out the back there. Nomads have been met by defence from the Mavericks. Let's see what the Nomads can do with the ball. There's been a penalty here. The ruck. Number 8, Reece Jenkins has taken a quick tap. Got some easy yards. Unfortunately, it's turned over and the Nomads have lost possession. And now the Mavericks have got the ball. They've been given a penalty for a high tackle. Alex has called it back to take it on the mark. Make sure that fair play is had at the point of infringement. Randy is kicking the sideline and he's on the same score as he was before, 42 metres out from the Nomads try line, so they're going to enter in the territory of the Nomads and have an opportunity to attack and build some pressure here against them. Let's see what they can come up with. There it is again. Straight line out restart. It's gone in favour of the Nomads, so they've got possession now and they're starting to go down that right hand side. Again, it's gone to the right hand side. Number 12 takes it for a line. Mavericks with unsuccessful counter ruck attempt. Straight ball here onto the ground. And we have a penalty call by Alex for a high tackle against the Nomads. So Nomads will have possession. And at this point, the Mavericks need to be back 10 metres. And what's happened here is Nomads have just had a kick to the sideline, which is not probably did make the sideline, so they'll have a line-out restart in their favour, but it probably wasn't the best. No, that's a nice quick one off the top. Trying to create a ball here. It's gone out. Nomads now attacking. David Feeney, ball passes straight to a Maverick. And it's out the back to Lido, who's been smashed into the ground. And penalty goes against Lido. And the Mavericks for holding onto the ball, not releasing. Nomads have a quick tap. About 2 minutes from the sideline, from the try line and the sideline. Number 15 takes it in. Nomads decided to slow it down a little bit. The ball seems to have been stripped off their feet. And Alex has called a knock on by the Nomads. So possession will go to the SKF Mavericks. Right now we're going to a scrum formation again. The scrum we have front three coming first. So that's your loose head, tight head and your hooker. I'll lie down. That's the line. And they'll go down first, then it comes into locks, and our loose forwards. Our flankers, both blindside and overside will go in, as well as our number 8 pass. And that makes up the composition of the scrum. These guys will contest for this restart. So although it is, in this case for this scrum, fed by SKF Mavericks, scrum half Manny, it's going to be still hotly contested. Going down the sideline, Jerry, the slug, has kicked it out, and now we've got a little bit of a scuffle going on over here by the bench between the two players and the two teams. A little bit of tension here at the start of this game, which is very interesting. Let's see how Alex, the ref, handles this situation. Make sure they keep control of the game. He's allowed a little bit of heat to come on. Now he's called a few players over. He's going to see what's going on. He also consulting his sideline or the referee's assistant sideline to see what happened from an alternate perspective. Obviously want to make sure that rugby is kept clean, and that we keep all scuffs and disagreements out of the game, and it's good that both players could shake hands there. Make sure they can keep it professional and keep rugby safe and clean for all those participants involved. So at the end of the day, we're all here to have a bit of fun and enjoy sport, enjoy being outdoors. That's what it's all about. So Alex has called time on. We're going to go for a line-out restart. Nomads have collected the ball off the line-out. Nomads have elected to go to a one-off scrum base. Keeping it tight early on to the ruck. Referee is asking for all the guys to play the ball. That's the second phase where the Nomads nice and tight off the ruck. And referee Alex is called offside by the Mavericks. So the ball will be in possession to the Nomads, and they'll have an opportunity to attack the Mavericks try line again. About 20 metres from their try line, so this is a really good position for them to attack. They may also elect to go for goal. or a scrum in this case, and they want to elect to scrum. Let's see what they come up with here. A couple of Nomads replacements on the sideline. Not sure if they're going to go on yet. But they're getting ready for some action right now. Nomads have fed the ball, they've gone blind. There's a sneaky little play here by the Nomads. Well done. And they'll go under and score the try. This is the first try of the match. Really good play there by the Manila Nomads. The open side fake play. And then they've gone down the blind, drawn in that winger. And he went down scot-free to score a try. Bringing it a little bit closer, about 15 metres from the sideline, so he can make this conversion a little bit more easier for their conversion attempt. He's elected to go for the drop kick. Unfortunately, he's missed it. Didn't allow for the win there. A very strong win here at Ayala Vermosa Sports Hub.
Manila Nomads leads with 5-0.
Going right to left, but almost directly across the field. And sometimes, if you can look at that flag, so he's really put a hampering on that conversion attempt. Nevertheless, the Nomads are leading the SKF Mavericks 5-0 at the moment. Mavericks to restart Randy Santos to do the drop kick restart. And he's deep. And it's
can you lower the ambience?
gone dead. So they'll bring that back. A little bit too much heat on that kick by Santos. And they'll restart at halfway where the ball and error happened. They'll start off with a scrum in favour of the Nomads. Alex Maynard, referee for the day, just having a chat to his forward pack to make sure that they're in safe. Nomads will feed it in, and they'll maintain the weight on the ball. Nomads take it from the ruck base, linked up with the scrum half. They'll pass it to Dave Wood, who's taking it down the sideline. Got some metres gained for them. Puts Nomads in a great position to attack. And there's Reece Jenkins again, number 8. And he's got some big yards, offloaded it to number 17, who's scored right next to the uprights. Fantastic quick play there. Nomads were able to see the advantage down the blind side and took advantage of a slow defense from the Mavericks. Built up some momentum and speed off the back of number 8, Reece Jenkins. He took it forward, powerful running, and then he just did a little quick tap to number 17 for the Nomads. Liam was able to score, and then Nomads were successful in converting that try by number 12, I believe, who is Adam Baxter, for the Nomads. So they'll take that try scoreline to 12-0 in favour of the Nomads. Slow restart by the Mavericks at the moment, getting their composure again. Randy Sandos kicking off for the SKF Mavericks, and it's gone deep again. Another error. They wouldn't be too happy about that one. This is easy territory for the Nomads, and it puts pressure back on the Mavericks. Right now, referee Alex Maynard has called for a drinks break, which is going to be about a 1 minute break, where the players can come in, make sure they have some hydration and rehydration just quickly. That way the game of rugby is played safely in hot temperature zones like we're in right now. Obviously in the Philippines it's going to get quite hot, and it's a beautiful sunny day. Want to make sure that all our players are safe, and they're also going to perform all the way through the whole game. They'll be playing 80 minutes today, so this is the first of 2 drinks breaks. We'll have one now at 20 minutes, and I'll have one at 60 minutes in the second half. And he obviously got the half-time break as well. There's also an opportunity in this case for our coaches, Coach Andy Brown and Coach Fitz, to have a quick chat to their troops, to their players, to see that they're on track in the case of the Nomads, and then for the Mavericks it'll be just a quick reset for them to make sure they can remain composed, and to put it all in perspective that they only got 20 minutes into this game, and they've got 60 minutes left, so there's still plenty of time for this game to go in either direction. But currently right now it's in favour of the Nomads. Right now, referee Alex has called time on, and he's going to start that again here on halfway, where the infringement of the Mavericks occurred. And they'll start off with a scrum in favour of the Nomads. Number 9, who is Vince. And they've retained possession. And there's advantage called to the Nomads. They've taken it out to the left side. Number 12's taken it in. And then Baxter, and they've got a penalty here, the Nomads. And they'll kick for the sideline. That was an easy kick for them. And the wind would have taken that an easy 15 metres. And they'll have a line out in their favour. About 30 metres from the SKF Mavericks. And that has just gone out the back. That's an error there by the Nomads on their line out restart. And the Mavericks are able to take a bit of pressure off. And they've gone wide nice and early out to their backs. Jordan Rose was tackled there, and then it looks like it's Lito Ramirez is on the ground, and there was no advantage there, so Alex has called it back. The referee's called it back to where the high tackle occurred, and this will give the Mavericks a little bit of breathing space. And Randy Santos has taken it to the line, fly half. He's created some opportunities for his team out wide, and there was a huge tackle there. Mavericks just got to settle it a little bit. That's where experience comes in, and James Oasis has taken it in, settling it down. Manny's passed there to Randy. Put Randy on the inside. to one of his bigger players, number 20. And they've brought it back for a penalty. There was no advantage to the Mavericks. As James Oasis almost going for the quick tap, and they've decided to slow it down a little bit. Scrum half Manny has got control of the ball, and they're going to Jeremy Hernandez. There he is, the hooker. He's had a big run. Started off. And there's Randy Santos taking it early. They're going a little wide, and that was a huge hit. A huge hit on number, I don't know who it was, but he's definitely felt that. Number 24. It was almost a hospital pass. Probably was a hospital pass because he got absolutely smashed. It was Jordan Rhodes. He got a penalty in favour of the Mavericks again. They've gone wide. Jeremy Hernandez bumps off a player. Number 22 felt that from Jeremy Hernandez. Huge run out wide. Good on him. Another penalty to the Mavericks. Oh, it's getting heated here. Big runs, big tackles, big bump offs. I'm loving it. Going to Randy Santos again, and they've got a little tip off. Jordan Rhodes now has recovered from that massive hit, and he's taking it inwards, and he'll go to ground. About 35 out from the try line of the Nomads. Forwards from the Mavericks have just taken it in. They've had a one-off. They've gone down that left side. Randy said, no, let's go to the right. And there's a little bit of an error there by the Mavericks, but it doesn't matter because they've got a penalty in their favour again. Nomads' discipline is a little bit poor. They've been offside at the ruck. And they'll have a quick tap. Number 20's busted through for the Mavericks. Huge run. Ah, it's a shame there. Look. Oh, it was play on. Thought it was a little mistake there from the scrum half, but Alex has called play on, and now Nomads haven't released. Quick penalty for the Mavericks. And they're about 2 metres out from the try line of the Nomads. What a turnaround. Nomads under a little bit of pressure now on their try line in defence. If I was in the Nomads now, I'll be telling them to relax a little bit, stay composed, and make sure they keep these Mavericks out. Whereas if I was on the Mavericks right now, I'll be getting our team structure organised. I'll be going to our big runners like number 20, who's had a big run. And mate, he's just set up number 4 for a try. How good is this? Little blindside play. Nomads were asleep on that wing, and they've capitalised on it. Fantastic stuff. Number 20, that back row of Morgan,
That was a try to Santos Knight.
has offloaded it to number 4, the winger for the Mavericks. And he's gone over, and now we've got a conversion attempt here from the sideline. Now normally with conversions you can elect a place kick, but number 14 for the SKF Mavericks has looked like he's going for the drop kick attempt, and again he hasn't allowed for the wind on that kick,
Conversion unsuccessful.
and it's just gone to the right.
Mavericks 5, Manila Nomads 12.
Struggled a little bit there, but doesn't matter. Mavericks have bounced back. Nomads are going to take their time to restart, while the Mavericks are eager, they're keen. They're set up early. They're ready to make an impact and put some tries back to back together. They've had a little bit of a sniff. whereas the Nomads want to slow it down and bring it back to their tempo. Restart now by number 12, Adam Baxter. He's kicked it off to the center of the field to number 14 for the Mavericks, who's taken it into the middle. Who's the kicker. Taking up the center. They've got a penalty from Alex. Manny's taking a quick tap, passed off to Randy Santos, who's passed to Jordan Rhodes, and we've got Jeremy Hernandez, who's found himself on the wing again, and he's tried to get it out. May have pushed that pass too much. Tried to get it out to number 6, Jerry the Slug Venezuela, but probably forced it too early. Probably should have took it into contact and just settled the play there and allowed Randy Santos to dictate the play out to the left and play to his strengths, which is his backs, you know, Jordan Rhodes and Lito Ramirez. But, you know, a little bit of impatience there, maybe a white line fever, has now caused the turnover, and now the Nomads will start with a scrum on there, just outside their 22. Nomads will be looking to exit from their own territory. Ball is now out. They've gone to Nomads inside centre position. Now they've given it Dave Feeney. He's taken into contact early. We've done an over the top kick there while they're scrum half, and that's been taken into touch just on halfway there to take a little bit of pressure off the Nomads and build a little bit of momentum for themselves. There's an opportunity now for the Mavericks though to attack and build pressure, build phases coming into the Nomads territory, but Jeremy is thrown it straight at his teammate. With a line out, you're supposed to throw it right down the middle, but again with this wind, this heavy wind here at Ayala Vermosa Sports Hub, going across the field, you can see it in the on your screen there with that flag, how windy it is. It's caused that line out to be an issue. So we'll go to a scrum restart in favour of the Nomads again. Nomads able to hold the weight of the Mavericks push, holding the ball in, and Reece Jenkins, number 8, has taken it from the scrum base, busted through, semi-line break, and he's given it out to his Nomads mate. They've got a good seal on that ruck there. Dave Feeney's passed out. Number 17 and number 12, Adam Baxter's fumbled it out the back, and Jordan Rhodes has had an attempt to score a try there. He's had half a sniff, but has been called back by the referee. And we'll restart play again here. With a scrum. All right, here we are. SKF Mavericks versus the Manila Nomads in the PRFU Premiership Shield 2020. A very exciting match here. We've had a couple of tries early on by the Nomads, and then we've had a good bounce back by the Mavericks. We've had a little bit of a scuff in the match early on, so it's kept it very entertaining. Here we go, Nomads down the blind again. The flying winger David has got the ball and he's taken in the contact, and his mate's taken in the contact. Dave Feeney's now taken in the contact. We've got to keeping it nice and tight, the Nomads at the moment. tight to the ruck base. Phil Sinclair with a latch. Number 20 latching on to Seal. Reece Jenkins taking it in. 17 for the Nomads with a red headgear. He's kicked it deep, and that's forced Lito to work it out of his own territory. That was a nicely weighted kick considering the wind, and put a lot of pressure on the Mavericks to work it out of their own territory right now. And unfortunately that was a knock on there by the slug. Nomads give him a little bit of a razz up. It's not often you see a veteran like Jerry knock it on. And this gives the Mavericks a lot of pressure right now. You can see it on the face of Jeremy Hernandez there in the hooker. He understands the amount of work you got to do, especially with these scrum restarts. Against the Nomads, you'll be holding a lot of weight there, taking a lot of strain. So not only is he feeling it there, the exasperation of it, but we've also got the mere fact that they're on their own trial line. It's a good opportunity for the Nomads to score, and that was a pretty easy one for number 8, Reece Jenkins. He's placed it over really easy. His size and his momentum had just put him in a real easy position to score. And obviously that Mavericks defense, they didn't really push up off the line there. They didn't have any urgency. They didn't show any urgency to defend their line. And Nomads over with another try. Right outside the right upright of the Mavericks goalposts. This will extend the lead of the Nomads with a kick to come. It is number 12, Adam Baxter, for the Nomads, electing a place kick, and conversion is unsuccessful.
Conversion was unsuccessful. Score Santos Knight Frank Mavericks 5, Manila Nomads 17.
So the Mavericks are 5, Nomads 17 at the moment. So there's a nice comfortable lead there of about 12 points, which is making it a little bit more uncomfortable for the Mavericks. And that's what this game of 15 is all about, is building pressure over time. You've got 80 minutes. You want to slowly wear away at the territory of your opposition and keep building pressure. And then you want to keep winding that clock down while you extend the lead of the scoreboard. It can be very frustrating, and players can feel the heat, feel the tension of that pressure. We can see now that Coach Fitz is now on the field on the blind side of this line out restart. And Jeremy Hernandez has just thrown in another error. And it's not a strong point for the, actually both teams, to be honest, this weekend, especially on this side with this wind. Well, Fitz has taken it in. Good tight run early on, getting involved. Now we have the Nomads take it in for a second phase. Really tight off the ruck base. Mavericks defense. Let's see if they can fold around quick enough. Randy Santos sprinting up. Nomads. Fitz, number 24, taking a huge run, bumping off a player there early. Putting pressure on the Mavericks, building that momentum. They've gone right, and unusual error from Randy Santos. You don't see too many from the young guy, but he seems to be feeling it a little bit today with a couple of kicks. gone astray and just that knock on there. He might be disappointed in himself, but he's just got to simply move on, flick that switch, move on, and he can move to the next phase. Nomads will be on the other end of this though. They might be loving this right now. They'll be maintaining pressure on the Mavericks. They're about 15 meters out from the Mavericks try line. And Manny, the scrum half for the Mavericks, will be feeding it in. Strong push there by the Nomads, and then Randy Santos is looking to exit their own territory with a huge kick. He's kicked it about 50 meters. Kicked it out, and it's entered the Nomads territory just on the 40, and we'll have a line out in favour of the Nomads. So that's well done by Randy. He's got a lot of talent, a lot of potential, this guy. He'll be one to watch in the next few years. He'll definitely come through the our national team program with the Philippine Volcanoes, and I'm pretty sure if he wants to, he could go professional. Follow the footsteps of his older brother Ryan Santos, who's in America at the moment playing well. He's in the Ivy League, I believe. And here we go, Nomads. They've thrown in for a restart, but we've got a short arm penalty here in favour of the Nomads. And it's disappointing for the Mavericks because they could be eliminating a penalty like that if they'd just been a little bit disciplined. And what's going on right now is we've got a scrum restart. Nomads have elected to restart this penalty with a scrum, and they'll pack down here on the 40, 15 meters out from the sideline. Nomads number 9, Vince, feeds the scrum, and Nomads holding their weight, waiting for the right time, and Fitz is taken in, number 24, big run. Offload out the back. Nomads now to attack wide, number 12, number 13, grab the ball, and there's that speedy winger again, Dave Wood, who's offloaded to one of his fellow Nomads. And number 17 with the red headgear is going to take it into contact. And it looks like a weak attempt at the ruck there by the Nomads, an opportunity to counter ruck for the Mavericks, but Alex has blown it up and called a penalty in favour of the Nomads for Jerry, number 6 for the Mavericks, not rolling away, not getting out of the ruck. Again, Nomads have elected to restart this penalty with a scrum, and he's just blown half time. Oh, he's actually called it early, so he's called time on again. I think he's getting a little bit of grief now from the guys. He admitted he made a mistake, which is fine. He's called the game on. He's controlling the game, which is good. Nomads to start the scrum, which is obviously their strength this game at the moment. We're looking for that scrum feed. Oh, and the Mavericks, just as I said it, Mavericks have absolutely blitzed them in this scrum. And they'll go for the quick restart. Out wide to their strengths, Jordan Rhodes. And he's taken into contact. Lito Ramirez sealing, and then you've got a couple of other Mavericks helping him out, but they've lost territory here. Mavericks giving it up. Just outside of their own half. Coach Fitz feeds it out to the number 17 for the Nomads, who is Liam. And he's pumped it out to end the first half of this exciting game between the Nomads and the Mavericks.
Mavericks 5, Manila Nomads 17.
And we are going to go to a halftime break, and we'll be back here at Ayala Vermosa Sports Hub very shortly for the continuation of the PRFU Premiership Shield.
At the half, we can see here Manila Nomads leading 17-5 over SKF Mavericks. Glad you're joining us here at One Play Sports for the 2020 PRFU Premiership Shield between Manila Nomads and SKF Mavericks. Chris, what are your thoughts about the first half of the match?
Look, it was a very exciting match. First half, you obviously saw early dominance by the Nomads, and then we had a quick bounce back by the Mavericks, and we're showing glimpses of excellence by the Mavericks, but they just can't quite retain possession and build some phases against the Nomads, which is unfortunate. And we obviously saw that little scuff there, so it keeps it exciting when you're watching a little bit of rugby, a little bit of tension. It's always good. But obviously the sportsmanship and the mateship is dominated there, and they shook hands before and that sort of stuff. So very exciting rugby nevertheless. We're seeing Nomads dominate because they're just able to hold, retain the ball, build phases, and then just score off the back of that momentum. It's kind of hard to do anything else when you don't have the ball and if you don't build momentum, especially in 15s rugby. So it's very simple footy by the Nomads.
That's really great to hear, Chris. So we go back into the action for the second half of the game. I hope you're enjoying it. We have Chris for the commentary for you guys.
Thank you, Jay. We'll kick off the second half here at the Ayala Vermosa Sports Hub on a beautiful Saturday. And we've kicked off by the Nomads and a beautiful regather. I don't know who that was, but he's taken a perler in the air. He's done an Evans Spargo, caught an absolute ripper for the Nomads to regather, only for number 17 to take it straight back to where it was caught. Nomads will build some phases here, real tight. Well, a little tip off by Feeney to number 8, Reece Jenkins, and he's just going to go all the way here. Nice little tip by Dave Feeney, showing his experience there as a Philippine volcano to give Reece Jenkins an easy 30-meter run to score just on the right side of the Nomads uprights. I mean, he's big, he's powerful, he's a strong runner, and it's going to be no match for, smaller players at the back there. Unfortunately, Lido Ramirez at fullback wasn't having a bar of that, and wasn't able to attempt to tackle him effectively to prevent that try. Right now, Adam Baxter's kicked a ripper place kick to conversion.
Manila Nomads now lead 24-5.
To convert that try for the Nomads, so it's now 24-5. Absolute perler. He's allowed for the wind, he's kicked it low and hard, and he's been successful. Let's see what the Mavericks can do, because it's always disheartening when you're behind, and it's also very disheartening when you get scored against early on in the second half. Let's see what Randy's kicked it short and nice. Unfortunately, it wasn't a good enough chase there by the Mavericks to shut it down, but here he is again. Reece Jenkins busting up the middle. Huge run, and Alex has called advantage to the Mavericks. Mavericks are going to the right, and that is a little bit of a head high there on number 19. So there's an advantage to the Mavericks. Randy stepped Phil Sinclair, number 2 for the Nomads. And they've brought it right back to where it was before. Mavericks going slow ball to the right, keeping it nice and tight off the ruck base. Manny, the scrum half, flies out at Jeremy Hernandez, and number 3 for the Mavericks takes it in. Big hit, big run. And here it is, third phase. Randy, show and go. Stepped off his left foot. beat the Nomads defense. And then straight under for a try. An old cheeky show and go against the Nomads. Fantastic stuff. It's actually Rugby 101. It's probably one of the first things you learn, the old show and go. And he's done that. He's pulled it out. He scored under the post, and the Mavericks will bounce back. They're having a conversion attempt here in front of the post. They're going for the drop kick attempt, and there it is. Conversion successful. Mavericks with a quick bounce back. That will bring back the Mavericks back into this game, or close that gap that they've just acquired. Give them a little bit of confidence, a little bit of hope too. Nomads will be slow to restart. That's their style. Slow the game down to their tempo. Get them composed and keep these young Mavericks in suspense. Nomads will restart with a kickoff to the Mavericks, and there was a little bit of a miscommunication there between some of the Mavericks players, and they've allowed it to bounce and go out, which is okay because they'll still have the ball, but the way that their lineouts have been going with this wind, it's not looking too good with this restart. But let's see how they go anyway. Mavericks restart with a line out. It's gone out the back, and once again, not good with the line outs. It's gone straight into the hands of number 8, Reese, and he's set a good platform for the Nomads. And it looks like to be an advantage to the Nomads. 15 meters out from the SKF Mavericks. And looks like someone's done an infringement on the Nomads, because the Mavericks have got a penalty and they've gone quick and wide. It's gone out to Jordan Rhodes and Lito Ramirez down the sideline to connect up. They've just made 60 meters, and that's definitely their strengths. They can get out of those two, they're going to be dangerous all day. Oh, Randy has taken it right back, and they've been given another penalty for offside. She's very fortunate, because if I was Randy, I would have just thrown that out wide to the left and keep these Nomads moving. James Oasis taking it in. Nomads will be very close to their try line right now, and Jeremy Hernandez will have it a go, setting the foundation again for the Mavericks. Another quick ball attempt by, looks like number 2 for the Mavericks, and then Manny fishes it out of the box. Randy giving a short ball on the inside to one of his players, like it was attempt to see if there's a lazy player on the inside. What's going on here is a little bit messy at the moment, but Nomad seems to have regathered the ball, kicked it over the top and out, and it'll go over the sideline and out. Unfortunately, you cannot do a quick restart with a different ball than the one that was in play, so referee Alex has called it in favor of the Mavericks, a line out to restart. And let's see how they go here. Just inside their own territory. He's on a short one, and it wasn't straight. Jeremy Hernandez trying to lick up with the slug. number 6 for the Mavericks, but it was not straight. And again, no luck here with the line out for the Mavericks. So right now the Nomads forwards having a little bit of chat, planning out what they're going to do. I don't know the official weights of the Nomads versus the Mavericks in the forwards pack, but just visually you can see it on the screen right now that Nomads are clearly the team with the more momentum. But let's see what these young Mavericks can do. They did dominate them before in the scrum, so let's see what they can do. Not this time. It's gone out to the back of the Nomads players. Number 12 being involved here. Adam Baxter, he's given a couple of balls inside and out, a couple of wraps, and now we've got the winger from the Nomads taking it in centre. Mavericks scrambling a little bit on defence, but they've come up fast. Good tackle by the number 4 there. He's put his body on the line. And Nomads securing the ball. It's just been folded back into that ruck there. Nomads. Simple stuff at the moment, a little wrap there. Phil Sinclair, former Philippine Volcano himself, international, is passed out to Dave Wood, basketball, who's, oh no, it's not, sorry. That's the other winger. I think it's Seb, who's gone over and scored for the Nomads, which is good. It's good stuff. They're continuing to build that pressure, build that dominance against the Mavericks. It's just not their day. Mavericks are doing a lot of defense, and that defense is going to wear you out eventually, especially in this hot weather, and especially against a big, experienced team like the Nomads. And they're able to score a quick and easy try. Seems to be a little bit of an injury at the moment on the field. Physio Rico Barron has run out to assess the situation. Phil Sinclair's down at the moment with a sore knee. Hopefully he's all right. Also give the Nomads a little bit of extra time to have a breather. You can see now that Phil's going to limp off with one of his teammates, Dave Wood, and Rico Barron, and she's passed it over to the manager for the day, Tom, and Rico to help Phil over to the sideline, which is fair play from the former international. Nomads unsuccessful with that conversion.
Conversion was unsuccessful. Score now stands at Santos Knight Frank Mavericks 12, Manila Nomads 29.
Nomads extending their lead now at 29 points. Mavericks 12. Let's see what they can do in this final 30 minutes or so. Hopefully they can turn it around. Mavericks with the short kick off straight into the hands of the Nomads, number 23. James Crawford, who's taken it to ground, and Nomads will look to do a kick over the top, little boxy, straight into the hand of Lito Ramirez. There was a little bit of a scattered defence there by the Nomads, which has allowed Lito to hop and skip and step around some of the defenders by throwing a ball out the back for no reason. Should have just really thrown it early or held onto it. Told his mate he was going into contact. It's just simple error there. But seems to be a penalty called here. I believe it might have been for offside. Maybe one of the players was offside at the when the ball was kicked, so he wasn't allowed to chase. And here we go. Number 20. The Mavericks has just busted through. And then we have an offload to one of his teammates. Number 8 there is just taking it into contact down the right-hand side. It's gone high. He should have went low. But anyway, Mavericks have sealed and they've gone through Randy Santos to see what he can do. He's just thrown a little ball stray and it's been palmed by and regathered by the Nomads. Number 12, Adam Baxter, who's offloaded off the ground and given it to number 22 to finish this try. Oh, look at that, number 4. Number 4 with that last-ditch effort to make a try-saving tackle, and he's forced an error, which is fantastic effort. That just shows you that you should put in the effort to do all tackles, and it's not over until it's over. And now look at this, James Oasis has busted through the number 8 for the Mavericks. This is a big counter-attack, and here we go again, number 24. But the Nomads has gathered the ball. This is exciting stuff, back and forth stuff here at the moment. Oh, a little bit of a stomp there by one of the Nomads players. Not too happy with the ruck situation. And they'll probably give the time for the Nomads to have a bit of a breather and regather themselves. You can see they're a little bit tired on the screen there from all that back and forth. Razzle-dazzle football. It's an opportunity here for Nomads to take a bit of pressure off themselves and slow the game down, get them a breather. They've kicked for the sideline, and this will allow them a little bit longer to breathe, recover and relax. They'll go for a line out, the first one from this side. See how the line out attempt is from this side of the field, going with the wind. You can see that flag in the background is waving around. Shows you the intensity of the wind here at Yala Vermosa Sports Hub today. As you can see in the line out, there needs to be at least a metre between the midline, half a metre between the midline of both teams, and so they can throw it down the middle with fair contest. But that didn't look straight at all on my screen, but obviously Alex has allowed it. He's called advantage in favour of the Nomads. Nomads kicked it through, and that looks like it's gone out on the full. But it hasn't been signalled to be out on the full by the... oh, it has. Joel, the assistant referee, has called it back out on the full, and that will go back to the point of infringement, which is where Alex, the man in the middle, the referee for today, is bringing it back. And they'll have a restart there. Scrum restart. Both forward packs will perform a scrum here, just on halfway, just inside the Nomads territory. They've called it back to the Nomads to restart, and they're going wide with a little bit of a switch play underneath there. Old Mate's knocked it on, and Nomads have given the ball up to the Mavericks. Manny, the scrum half, is looking for some guidance from his players. He's gone right, and Jeremy Hernandez has been taking the ground softly, but they've called it back for another scrum. lot of errors in this game today. A lot of scrums. This obviously shows why it's important to have a good forward pack. This is one of the methods of contest in the game of rugby, is the scrum. So you want to make sure that all your technical skills and all your cohesion as a forward pack are on point when you're doing a scrum. So many hours in front of the scrum machine, many hours doing one-on-one stuff, two-on-two stuff, three-on-three stuff, five-on-five, and even eight-on-eight at the scrum practice, to make sure that you can get the right cohesion for a complete scrum of 8 in Rugby 15's code. Mavericks win it this time, and they're giving it out the back. They've gone Jordan Rhodes and to Lito, but Lito's thrown it away again. It's disappointing to see. Lito Romero's just forcing that pass when he could just hold on to that. What he was looking for his playmate, his buddy Jordan Rhodes on the inside. And if they had linked up, I'm pretty sure they would have scored there. But on this attempt, it was unsuccessful. Now we're in a line out, a little quick line out attempt again. Jeremy Hernandez going to number 6, Jerry Branzuela, but unsuccessful here. We'll have a scrum restart in favour of the Nomads. Just while we're here, big shout out to Laurie in the PRFU office, Rara Russell Sales, Philippine Volcano silver medalist, Rugby Sevens game. We've got AC there. Big call out to those in the PRFU office. What has happened here, we just had an error, and we'll have a quick drinks break, which will be about 60 seconds for both teams to obviously practice safety and get rehydrated and hydrated for the remainder of this game. They've got about 20 minutes to go in this second half, and with the weather already getting hot as we're coming into summer here in the Philippines, we want to make sure that all our players and teams are actually safe and reduce their risk of getting heat stroke or getting or fainting or anything like that. We're going to make sure that we have these water breaks. It's also an opportunity for the coaches in this particular match to have a quick chat to their teams and understand what their direction is for this fourth phase of the match, so that they can close out this match. In terms of Nomads, I want to make sure that they're able to stamp their authority and put this game to bed. In terms of the Mavericks, it's just like, how can they turn this around? How can we make this our game in the last 20 minutes, or how can we, at least bring it into an arm wrestle? And judging by the look of this game, Nomads will just be more of the same. Keep it in tight, use your forwards, use your strength, slow the game down to their pace, and use your speedsters as you need to, but really put a emphasis on the back of the performances of your Reece Jenkins, of your David Feeneys, and on the Mavericks side, it will just be a mindset thing. How do we turn this around? How do we switch that switch? How can we use our backs to bring this game How do we use Jordan Rhodes? How do we use Lido properly? How do we take advantage of those quick players out wide? We're just about to pack down a scrum to restart this fourth quarter of the PRFU Premiership Shield game between the SKF Mavericks and the Manila Nomads. Open division here at Ayala Vermosa Sports Hub. Beautiful sunny day, but it's also very windy, and it looks like it's affecting the both the conversions and the lineouts, restarts of both teams. That's probably why there's been so many scrum restarts instead. Experienced players would have been calling those instead. And here we go, we've got a scrum that's collapsed on the side of the Mavericks, and it's unsafe.
Can I use it?
We are now getting a penalty for the Nomads, and number 20 for the Mavericks has come down with a little bit of a cramp at the moment. As I was saying before, you got to keep hydrated, and in a hot day like today and the intensity of playing rugby 15s, you're going to lose a little bit of sweat, you're going to lose those electrolytes. So we're starting to see the first of a few people starting to cramp up in this game. Crowd starting to get behind the Nomads here, getting a little bit excited. Nomads with the ball just inside Mavericks territory. They've gone down the blind again. Adam Baxter's been a part of this. Show and go, fend. Number 17's grabbed the ball and just palmed it backwards into the ground, but that has not worked out for them at all. It's probably a little bit of a silly error, to be honest. All they need to do is just settle down, keep the ball, keep building pressure, and then don't give these Mavericks any opportunities. So this is an opportunity for the Mavericks now to exit their own half and come up with some kind of strategy to bridge the gap. There it is, a successful line out followed by a mistake and another scuff for the Nomads. Here we go, a little bit of tension here, a little bit of a disagreement there. That's probably a sense of frustration by the Mavericks players. Had an opportunity there to, set some foundations for building momentum and then hopefully, bridging that gap between their scores. But that error has, causes a lot of stress and strife on the game, and players can feel it when the game is wearing down and scores are a couple of tries away. It's quite frustrating. The referee Alex is having a chat to his assistant referee Joel Idea to get some understanding of what happened from multiple perspectives to make sure that the fair ruling can happen, and also we want to make sure that the game is in full control by our referees. And there he is. He's offered him a slice of cheese, a yellow card, which would give him time in the bin. That's number 1 for the Nomads. He'll be put over into the penalty box for 10 minutes. He may be lucky to get back on the field. And I believe that was for being a professional foul unnecessary actions on the field there. So they'll walk number 1 over to the for the yellow card. And we'll work out what's happening in a second. We've got plenty of discussion going on here. To work out what's going on in this. Who did what? Whose fault was it? Who started it? Etc. etc. While we're here, I want to say another shout out to Nova and Jane, our forwards from the Lady Volcanoes, who are now called the Philippine Volcanoes. Those two girls are an integral part of not only the Davao Durians but also Philippine rugby. Here we are, we're restarting with the Mavericks, and James Oasis has taken it in and he's got it out. Randy Santos passing that number 20, who's been a solid runner for the Mavericks. Randy up the middle again, step fend past the number 20. Here he is again, and he's got belted by somebody from the Nomads. Good tackle. And here he is, Jeremy Hernandez, little short one on the inside. Gained another 5 meters off that short ball. Randy giving out the back, linked up with number 20, and there's a little bit of confusion going on there, but there was a mistake by the Mavericks. And we'll have a turnover here. Another shout out to Patty Dizon, who's watching in Manila, tuning in to watch her first PRFU Premiership Shield match. It's great to hear from you. Right now, we're having another scrum to restart the match. And Nomads will restart with a tight play off the scrum. Number 17. A little bit of a dance, a little bit of a skip, step, take it into contact. And then we've got some short, tight plays from the Nomads, keeping it really tight to their ruck. One off there at Adam Baxter, who's offloaded to one of his fellow Nomads who's on the ground there. That's out. He's going to play it, and that's looks to be a strong run there by the Nomads, and unfortunately they've come up with an error. Drop ball, a turnover. Mavericks, let's see what they can do. Penalties blown in their favour. It's quick tap by the scrum half. He's taking it forward and is isolated, so he's have to throw it back, and he's done so. And here comes the Mavericks, whose ball stolen from him, the number 3 for the Mavericks, and it's just, that's just simple rugby stuff there, no seal. And Nomads have just capitalised on it, taken the ball, and they're in a position now to attack about 40 out. And he'll be brought back, penalty to the Nomads, and we can just see here as the clock ticks down, Nomads will get more and more confident, more and more relaxed, and they'll probably even look to slow this game down further, bringing the game to set piece, walking the plays, taking a short option, keeping the margin safe. Might even be kicking for conversions if they get a penalty. Whereas the Mavericks are under a little bit of pump now, under a bit of pressure. They've got to actually speed the game up, and they're actually got to work to build momentum as quick as possible. Will they do that today? We'll find out very shortly, no doubt, as the clock winds down. But right now, it's not looking good for the SKF Mavericks today. Nomads off the ruck base, short run off, one off run. Dave Feeney at scrum half, he's taking a one off as well, laying the foundation, building phases, and this is what it's all about really, just playing simple, playing safe, taking it in, building that pressure, forcing the opposition to get back on side and wear them down. And once they come in, look for that lazy defense out wide. And then again, Nomads couldn't quite capitalize on it. Penalty to the Mavericks. Nomads weren't releasing the ball once they were tackled. The ball's gone to Randy Santos, who's given it out wide. It's been called knocked back by the referee. Bit of a scrappy thing going on there. Number 14's just done a selfish kick for himself, and he's chasing with enthusiasm. And missed tackle by a couple of guys, but Jordan Rhodes has brought a player from the Nomads into the sideline alongside with his number 7. So Nomads been taken out, and we'll have a restart penalty actually in favour of the Nomads because of a high tackle above the neck. So if you're doing a high tackle is basically a situation where the opposition will defend illegally above the armpit line, which is not safe in the code of rugby. We want to be aiming ideally for around the hips or lower, and that's going to be a safe tackle, but it's also going to be more effective, and it's also sportsmanlike in the way that we tackle. So Nomads again slowing this game down, winding the clock down. They've gone for the scrum. Winding the clock down. Nomads. Simple play off the scrum base. Keep it in tight where all their forwards are, and they've gone wide. Little tap ball on the inside of number 21, who's just been smashed by one of the Mavericks there, who read that play. And the ball's just gone out to the left. It's gone wide. And that Nomads player has gone tackled, and Mavericks are going for the ball. Have they got it? Nomads are regathered. Dave Feeney with the ball now. Going to ruck. Getting out to 17, who passes to the big fella. He's had a big run in, setting the pace. It's gone wide again to the feet of Adam Baxter, who's felt the need to tap his mate on the shoulder with that little mistake. And he's having a chat to his mate about, what are you doing, mate? You throwing it to my face, or are you throwing it to my feet? give me good service. But then they're probably having a laugh about it too, to make sure that it's all just a game and they're winning anyway, so it probably doesn't matter in the context of this game. Referee Alex Maynard having a quick chat to a couple of the players there before he's going to restart a scrum. Rico Barron is out there as well. Sunglasses, probably the coolest physio in Ayala Vermosa Sports Hub at the moment. And then we've got a substitution for the big fella, and then we've brought on Coach Fitz, number 24, who will pack down, it looks like, number 8, He's the head coach of the SEA Games silver medal efforts for the Rugby Sevens females Team Philippines team, alongside Coach Andy Brown and myself, Chris Everingham, and he's also helped, or he also head coached with myself to coach the Lady Volcanoes, or sorry, the Philippine Volcanoes women team in the Asia Trophy Series last year. We went to Jakarta and we won Division 2, we won that, and now we'll be promoted to the Asian 7 Series in the top 8. That was very interesting there. There was a little bit of a kick of one of the players to the groin of one of the Nomads players, and again, that's that frustration. You can see that frustration from the Mavericks. It's hard when you're losing and nothing seems to be going your way on the day. You got to let it out, but that was it's pretty unprofessional by anyone. It's unsportsmanlike to be able to kick your opposition in the nuts like that. That's yeah, it's not very professional. So I'm pretty sure that Alex Maynard will be having a word to that guy, Manny, the scrum half, number 4 for the Mavericks, about those actions there. It's pretty unacceptable. And let's just see how and what referee Alex Maynard comes up with the assistant referee, who is Joel Idea, who is also one of the Philippine Volcanoes for the women's team 15s program. Big shout out to Kevin and Jeff, the Pure View logistics managers. Without those guys, they are the backbone of the Pure View. Without those guys doing the hard work, they and us, the Pure View, would not be as good or as effective or as smooth running as it is today without the guys running the show from behind the scene. Also, people like Karen and Laurie do a great job behind the scenes. So we got there General Manager Jake Letts out on the field, making sure that everything is sorted out and everything's kept clean. And you can see he's a very hands-on general manager, which is fantastic because it shows his passion and shows his dedication to the sport of rugby here in the Philippines. And he's making sure that our local leagues, our PRFU Premiership Shield and our 2020 JML Luzon Cup are run to a high standard and really bringing this game forward. So well done to Jake Letts for being hands-on. Also got on the field today, we've got the PRFU's president, Rick Santos, is here, and VP, we've got Bill Bailey here as well today. It's good to see that our board members are active and participating in our local leagues and supporting through the SKF Mavericks. As Coach Fitz has a run, Captain Coach, I believe, he's had a huge run there. Set the foundations for his Nomads. And then he's just, number 17's been pole drive by number 3 from the Mavericks. And we have here James Oasis getting a little bit fired up there. A little bit of tension as the Mavericks look to work it out. Lito Ramirez, probably the smallest guy on the field, has taken it into contact. Probably in the... This is the guy you want to send up, a big number 3. You want to send a big guy like him up or number 8 like James Oasis. And they've passed it to Randy Santos, who's gone to kick it out, but obviously that wind has played a big factor in it. And it's not gone out. And the fullback there, Adam Baxter, has kicked it into someone else's hand and having a blow up right now about potential knock on. Well, he's ruled in favour of the Mavericks, and Randy has taken a quick tap, fly half the Mavericks. And here we go. Another penalty. Let's see what the Mavericks can do with it. Hasn't been their day so far, but can they earn a little bit of respect back, and can they put a try on before full time? Let's see what happens. They've gone out wide. Number 14's got the ball. And the big blinding run here up the middle by one of the Mavericks front three. Oh, the slug, the little jink, little fake, and taking it into contact. Keeping it tight. Lido Ramirez from the scrum base. Randy Santos out too. Number 3, the Mavericks, and then is given to the winger. And he's being held up. Oh, now he's told to release the ball. Coach Fitz coming in late. Jordan Rhodes, quick tap. Look at the step on the guy. He's beat 1, he's beat 2, and he's been pulled up by 3 there. Feeney and number 20. And they've gone to the right to number 21. Look at this guy. Big run, finally. Mavericks got a little bit of confidence in him. Building a little bit of pressure. What can they do with it? They've gone wide to number 20, who's bumped off number 25, but he's brought him down, number 25. Well done. And they've gone down the right, and number 4 has been taken out. Oh, no. It is a try. Alex has called a try. I thought he was taken out there because once you touch that pole, you're out. But he has caught in the corner there for the Mavericks. Is it too late? I'm not sure, but let's see what they can do.
Conversion was unsuccessful. Score Santos Knight Frank Mavericks 17, Manila Nomads 29.
Mavericks 17, Nomads 29, 12-point gap. This is a very interesting late part of the match. Is it too late? We'll see. Mavericks only need 2 converted tries to steal this from the Nomads, but it might be too late. Let's see what they come up with. Looks like they might have about 5 minutes left. So it may be too late for the Mavericks, but let's not count them out yet. Games can turn around in an instant. Nomads to restart the game. High ball. And it's attempted to be caught by James Oasis, who's just knocked it out, and that's terrible. Terrible misread of the sideline, and a misunderstanding the wind there today. He should have stood closer to the sideline, got a bit of spatial awareness about him, and probably had a judge that, or made a judgment call that's probably going to go out. Nevertheless, it's good by the Nomads because now they have an opportunity here to attack and really put this game away and really cement this win for the Nomads. Let's see what they can come up with. Throwing it in. Nomads have regathered the ball successfully off that restart. And someone's on the ground at the moment. It's not good. Looks to be Dave Feeney, current international for Philippine Volcano. We've got Rico Barron on the scene there, checking out and making sure that he's safe and that he's not too injured. Might be an ankle here. Rico just spraying on the magic water, give it a little bit of a boost so it can feel good again. Hopefully he's all right as well. Disappointing to see Dave Feeney exit the match like this. We want to make sure that he's ready for the Asian Rugby Championships Division 1 men's tournament, which will be in Singapore, I believe, in late April, May. So he's only got about 10 weeks to get this right. So hopefully it's only a minor injury. And well, hopefully he's just trying to get a rest. But in all seriousness, I hope he's all right and that he can bounce back and be ready to play for the Nomads again next round, but also ultimately play international rugby for the Philippines. Dave Feeney qualifies as a Philippine Volcano because he has been a resident for a number of years now in the Philippines, so he's able to call the Philippines home according to World Rugby rules and regulations, Section 8. Here we go, Nomads with the ball, scrum restart. We're about 22 metres from the Mavericks try line. Referee Alex is blowing the whistle on. Time on, they've gone the blind. Fitz down the blind side, feeds it to his winger, who will cross over for a try. And that will pretty much soothe the aches and pains of Dave Feeney on the sideline, but it'll also cement the win for the Nomads today. It just hasn't been the day from the Mavericks. The SKF Mavericks have really struggled to put some phases together. Seems like they're still doing a little bit of sevens. Haven't been able to use their forwards as good as they should be. You can see that they do have the forwards. They do have the strength there because they won and dominated scrum over there early in the first half, but they just seem to have gone missing. And that's the essence of 15s rugby is forwards. If you don't have good forwards, or if the forwards aren't playing at their best, then it's really hard for your backs to do any good work. So number 12, Anna Bax, has missed the conversion. It's kind of hard from the sideline.
Conversion was unsuccessful. Full-time score, Santos Mike Frank Mavericks 17, Manila Nomads 34. Congratulations, Nomads. Next game is in the Luzon Cup between Makati Chiefs and Nomads Calabash.
So now that wraps up the game between the SKF Mavericks and the Manila Nomads in the PRFU Premiership Shield Open Division for the men's here at Ayala Vermosa Sports Hub. SKF Mavericks 17, Manila Nomads 34, winning the match for today. It was a very exciting match, had a bit of everything. Had razzle-dazzle football, had a couple of biffs, a little bit of tension, had some good tries. And that's what we like to see with our rugby. There's a bit of variety, a bit of excitement. So, and now we've got the guys, after a big, hard, physical battle, they're shaking hands like gentlemen and making sure that it's all left there on the field, and that's the most important thing. Keep rugby clean, keep it all safe, and keep it all in good spirits when they leave the field. So thank you very much for listening for this first game. We'll be back very shortly for the 2020 JML Luzon Cup here at Ayala Vermosa Sports Hub between the McCarty Chiefs, sponsored by JML, and the Manila Carabaos. We'll see you very shortly here at Ayala Vermosa Sports Hub.